Hey, YouTube and Facebook, Scarpad's Domain, another Monday night sojourn into science fiction. And of course, tonight we're doing 1986's Aliens, a sequel to the original 1979 more haunted house alien film. This one is more Terminator than Alien, as a group of space army dudes go out to fight and rescue some people on a planet. Ends up the aliens are there because they've been there. That's the aliens planet. That's the one that she went down on. All sorts of good things ensue. I tell you, it's definitely influenced heavily by James Cameron's work in 1984 on Terminator, and it does show. This movie, we were talking last night that almost all these movies in the 80s, we look them up and we see the budget and they all made no money. Well, that's not the case here. This movie was made, believe it or not, an $18.4 million budget and grossed over $186 million, and even got an award nomination for Best Supporting Actress for Sigourney Weaver, which in 1986, for a science fiction movie to get a Best Supporting Actress or Best Actress nomination, never happened. Let's bring in some of the usual guys and some new guys. We got Fable. How you doing tonight, Fable? Station.
Hey, what's going on, brother? Yeah,
Hey,
doing well, man.
We got Link. How's it going, Link? And I think the man of mystery might be here. It's Perry.
Oh shit!
Oh, at least
Hey! I expected Perry to jump out like bam.
No, hold on. I just want to ask you, did I just notice? Are you in your underwear, man? Do you have
No. Those are shorts, fam.
Okay. I thought you were in your boxers for a second. I was getting worried for a second, but that's all right.
I almost fell out my window.
As long as you've got some clothes on, that's fine. So we're here to discuss Aliens. Look at this big crew. We do an Aliens movie, and they all come out of the woodwork. You know?
Hey, it's when I seen.
Classic.
All I had to do was watch my recap, so it was like
bullet points.
Yep, pretty much.
We got Dylan. How you doing, Dylan?
What up?
What's going on, brother?
Station.
Yeah, this one is probably one that nobody had to watch, but I did go ahead and watch it again. And my observation when I was rewatching it, especially on the Blu-ray, is holy shit, this movie needs a remaster.
It needs a good 4K.
Not only that, but that scene, and we showed it in the preview there, the intro, where the ship is crashing and they're all in front of what looks like to be a movie screen of the ship crashing, running away from it.
Like shoot 'em up.
Yeah, there's several scenes in this movie that I like that, and it really could use a little bolstering. But other than that, the movie still holds up.
For 1986? Yeah, it holds up very well.
Comes out, 2 years, I think, after Terminator, a couple of years after Terminator.
It was 84 Terminator?
Yeah.
Or 83, okay.
This movie was held up for a long time. There was a sequel, because you remember Alien came out in 79, and the Alien was held up in a lot of legal battles, and finally they got this going in 83, and they came out in 86. But that's 7 years between movies, so they weren't too sure whether people would come back, and it was a big gross. And
was Ridley Scott at all in talks to ever direct the sequel, or was that like
no? It wasn't at all. He wasn't really involved in the movie at all.
Okay.
Most of the original suspects of this movie, everybody that's worked with James Cameron in the past. We get Galen Hurd. We get Galen Hurd. Walter Hill, who that name will pop up a lot in the 80s. He did The Warriors. He did. I think he did Beverly Hills Cop, and I know he did 48 Hours. So Walter Hill was a co-writer on the story with James Cameron and David Geyer, and I think a lot of the action stuff is Walter Hill's influence, along with Cameron. Because remember, Cameron did a lot of action, but this was a little bit before Terminator 2.
This is like the first time he turned up.
A lot of great characters, a lot of actors that.
Don't forget the second unit director was Stan Winston.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, no way.
Yeah, Stan Winston, and part of Brandywine Productions, which is all of them. And the music was done by James Horner, who's done a lot of stuff. Now I like James Horner, but as Dylan who's just went on, Dylan just watched for the first time Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and this is Horner's Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan soundtrack in so many places. He recycles so many themes that his movies in the end tend to seem a little generic, but it's a good soundtrack, even though it is a little derivative of a lot of the other stuff he's done. And as I said, this is 137 minutes. There is an extended version out. Maybe we'll talk about a little bit. That is actually on the disc. There's a little prologue to it from Cameron. He says the extended version is his preferred way of watching it.
That's the one I see.
Of course.
Of course, that's what he's going to say. But yeah, I mean, I remember seeing this movie. I was a huge Alien fan. I still do like Alien better of the two movies.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a horror movie. It's more of a. I think I just love the setting and really Scott's directing. But
It's interesting. You earlier you said this was like more closer to Terminator, and I felt like Terminator was. Well, I guess I could see that. Where Alien to me is more of like a horror with sci-fi elements. Terminator is a sci-fi with horror elements.
Right.
You know, like and.
Yeah, the action scenes, all the stuff with all the stuff with Hicks gave you major. I thought he was gonna say, "Come with me if you want to live." To Ridley. It's really real. I mean, but this is the acting in this. I mean, you had Michael, all great '80s guys. You got Michael Biehn, Lance Henriksen, the girl from that was in a couple of other movies, Flores, the one that got killed there at the end. I'm pretty sure she was in Predator, wasn't she? I think.
Yeah.
Snap.
And then you had Bill Paxton. His stuff is iconic now. So you had a really, really good cast. Paul Reiser, and they all had something to do in this movie. They don't buy it until the very end, and then of course you had the young girl playing Newt, who was good, the whole idea coming back from the extended version was what was cut was the fact that when Ridley got back to planet Earth or the station, she finds out that her daughter, who was 11 at the time, is dead now, 66-year-old, and she missed her by like 2 years. I thought that one scene added a little bit more to the Newt stuff to show how she really was looking after the girl and was really committed to getting the girl. But the other stuff in that version that really goes with Newt and her family, that stuff is definitely skippable. I still prefer the original version over the extended. I just like that one scene. Maybe they could have put that back in there. But Fable, are you going to talk about the movie a little bit? I saw this in the theater when it first came out. You must have seen it in the theater, I would take it.
No, I saw this on video. Yeah. Right. I saw this on video for the first time. I saw this before Alien Part 1. This was
a lot of people. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had so many toys for this shit. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I absolutely love this flick. It's a great action romp. You talked about the extended version. Part of the reason this movie it hooks you is because it's the mystery of what happened to this place. And when they show this place before anything happened, it kind of kills that whole thing, that whole vibe.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I love this. This is the classic 80s. It has all the Cameron tropes. Cameron loves his hardware. I love that about Cameron. He loves a piece of machinery. Everything he directs, you see, he zooms in on the tanks and the guns, and he loves his tech, which is something I love. He always knows how to introduce characters, right? Every time, all his movies, he introduces you to the crew, and everybody has this crazy personality. And it's just a fun movie, man. It's a fun action movie. It's tense, and it's like Link said, he turned up. Like the first movie had one alien. This has like 100.
And that queen, bro.
And a big ass queen.
Yeah.
Eggs. Something you didn't see.
Gotta give him props, man. All alien lore comes from this movie, man. Everything going forward is about colonial marines and whaling Yutani, and all that stuff is really established here.
Right. Yeah, because you had him call the company in the first one, but you didn't hear they were whaling Yutani.
So a lot of alien lore going forward really comes from this movie. So yeah, man, it has its place. You're right. The first movie is a superior film, but this is a great studio movie. Like, you know what I mean? This is a
and don't
great,
we actually get Lance Henriksen playing the real guy in one of the Alien versus Predators movies? Don't we? Is that who he's supposed to be playing? The robot, the creator of the robot,
Bishop.
Yeah.
Bishop. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He was an Alien vs Predator. I don't know if he was in the second one. I know he was in the first one.
I love the fact that in this movie they turned it around too. Whereas in the first one, the robot was a bad guy that was trying to kill Ripley. In this one, he's the good guy and he saves the day. And I like the way they played on that a little bit more.
Yeah, there's a good contrast to it. Who do you guys like better, David or Bishop? They're from Prometheus, Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, you can't bring those movies.
I haven't seen Prometheus.
Yeah, those movies,
okay.
they can't be talked about. Not yet.
I've only made it to the third.
About aliens tonight. So.
Alien 3 is underrated, bro.
Prometheus is underrated.
So I don't have no problem with the Covenant. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like Prometheus.
But
I think Prometheus. But yeah, I would say Bishop, man. Bishop is the iconic android from this franchise. Like, going forward, everybody, you know, every time they try to do one of these robots, they try to bring Lance Henriksen in to like voice it or be the model for it.
They're all spitting milk.
Yeah.
They used to fuck me up as a kid, bro.
Milk and grapes. That's what they're coming up there.
I mean, it's kind of unique though, you know, like white blood.
Hell yeah.
Who would have thought?
It's not really blood per se. It's some sort
it's like the
protein. Or
that's
oil.
what it's trying to. Yeah, it's trying to show like it's like blood.
So Perry, you probably. When's the first time you saw this? Probably like last week, right?
28. Let's see. First time I watched this 3 years ago. 2019. Okay. 2020, May 5th.
Nice.
So like everybody here, did you see this before the first one?
No, I watched Aliens first, and then I watched Aliens. Yeah. Which, when I watched Alien, I didn't like it at first. I had to watch it like 3 or 4 times, and then I got like hooked. And then I started watching it again and again and again. I had to like remove myself from like modern times because that was one of the first old movies I've ever seen. So like that shit was slow.
What did you just say?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. It's a little lingers a little bit.
Old movies ain't that fucking old.
It was like 20 years before I was born.
I saw this. I saw it in a theater in 70 millimeter Dolby stereo. Oh my god, it was unbelievable.
You were there.
79. I was there. I'm old. This came out the same year as Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Same year.
Yeah, no, it definitely holds up. You know, as long as you remove yourself from like the nonstop action of like TikTok, you need to like get that dopamine every 10 seconds. You know,
I think this is more suspenseful.
Yeah,
I think it's more suspenseful, and as I said, even though Verno don't like to hear about haunted house, it really is. It could be a haunted house. It's a spaceship.
Well, the first one is a pure horror movie.
Yeah.
Pure horror movie. The second one is, like Link said, it's like an action movie with horror.
It's like they did lines of cocaine. They're like, woo!
Yeah. Have that fucking alien pop off the wall, rip that bitch off the ground.
Yo, when you put that shotgun in the alien's mouth and pull, I was like, oh, so good.
She's gonna fight him with a mech.
Yeah, gonna fight him with.
No, she's gonna shoot the flamethrower, but inadvertently she's gonna they'll do a fire. He's gonna fall in the water, and then we're gonna pan around.
They went, they turned up.
You know what? I tell you something. Something that amazes me. It's definitely on roids, but it doesn't feel the progression of Sigourney Weaver from the first movie to the second movie doesn't feel forced. You believe that, especially at the end of the first one,
you could stitch these movies together and watch them.
You know, you don't. You do not believe that she wouldn't be capable of doing exactly what she's doing. So.
Oh yeah.
She's a badass.
She's one of those archetypes, man. She's one of those badass feminine heroes, man. Like
I thought they didn't exist, though.
Man.
I would like to see. I would like to see more of the cat, but unfortunately, his cat was only in it for a little bit. Jonesy. So Dylan, your experiences with the Marine. Look at saying Dylan. Dylan is look at the room there. What do you got there, Dylan? You got some new freaking duds back there. What do you got?
Nope. That's just where I usually have the computer would be on that dresser. I found
where's the new stuff?
Yeah.
Are you not done yet?
What?
Where's the new stuff? Looking.
You'd have to do a 360.
Like
the stuff that's right here used to be right here. I moved it to the side.
I know it's all different now.
Yeah. Well, I gotta finish up too. So
how many years has it been since you first saw this movie? You saw it back in the.
How many years since I seen it?
I mean, what was the
you can ask if you saw it in the
maybe a couple months. I mean,
I know he didn't see it in theaters.
No, I didn't see it in theaters. I grew up watching Alien and Aliens with my uncle. He showed me Alien and fucking blew my mind away, and that shit was scary as fuck.
Yeah.
The chest burster, man, that one was so suspenseful and just creepy as fuck, bro. That one was so scary as a kid. And Aliens was like a little boost up, where it was like it's still scary but fun as fuck. And you get Bill Paxton just going ape shit, Lance Henriksen. You get a fantastic fucking cast, and you get the Queen alien in this. Yeah. And it's just bigger. It's just it's pure 80s, where every sequel was bigger, badder, faster, harder.
More in your face.
Gut punch, you know what I mean? Just going as hard as they possibly can. I mean, just when they got that scene, and they're like, they're coming on us, man. They're coming at 10 feet, 8 feet. They're like, they're in the fucking room with us, man. They're like, it can't be right.
It's impossible.
There's just because you get the one scene in the first one where they look and they see the one, and that's scary as fuck. Or when like the aliens like blending in with like the machinery, and you like turn, they're like zooming around, they're looking around, and you see like the alien.
Oh, it's on the wall, man.
It's
right on the wall.
Like you got
20 the fuck in, bro.
Yeah.
I had to rewind that because I was like, that was dope as fuck. Because it was for first viewing, you're not gonna peep that. It's just kind of.
And I think that
like
scene, the aliens in that scene were all puppets too. I think they were all just puppets being crawled.
I mean, there's probably a lot of people in suits for it too. I wouldn't doubt. But dude, I mean, you got Tom Woodruff Jr. and Stan Winston. I mean, legendary creators, and this movie don't get made without them. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you got Cameron's vision and everything, but without people to create this stuff, you don't get this movie for how good it is. And like Fable said,
true.
I just love the machinery, the guns. They always got these badass fucking weapons. They're like stormtrooper.
The drop ship when it comes in with the tank.
Dude,
like that was like the first time you saw kind of like that kind of thing, that drop ship.
Yeah.
The tank. Like,
the Halo shit. Halo.
Yeah, I would say the militaristic sci-fi, this and Starship Troopers.
The yellow like exoskeleton suit type thing. Like, dude, I mean, could you imagine doing that like back then? Like,
man, I had that toy as a kid, bro. It had with Ripley. She had like a bandana. With
nice.
Shit was
That's cool.
You get a little Jonesy in it, you know. Lance Henriksen looks pretty young in this too at the time. I mean,
now we just need to merge the Avatar and Alien universes. Get that going.
Dude,
I heard they connect, bro.
Ripley's scared of, she's like, you didn't tell me there was a fucking android on the,
Yeah.
That would never happen. We're good now. Like those old robots used to glitch all the time, but I'm straight, dog. I'm straight.
What are you talking about? The one in Prometheus was a psycho too.
No, I'm just saying that's what he said.
But that happened before. Good
call.
Actually, was he psycho in that one?
Hey,
Covenant.
Thanks for backing me on that one. This motherfucker thought he had me.
Scarpad just lets the hate overshadow the logic. Like
that's why you need to go back and rewatch Prometheus, man. I'm telling you that one. I would have.
Prometheus nor Covenant are bad movies, bro. People just want to bitch about something.
Prometheus is a good movie, but I just don't need to have the alien connected to man. I don't need that.
You don't need it's so vague in its connection. Honestly, like
true, bro. Like that's not a man. That's a fucking alien.
I know, but I don't need to know. I don't need to know about the alien.
To aliens, we're alien.
I don't need a backstory on the alien.
We're alien to aliens.
I heard the alien's got a brother.
Full circle, bro. But
man, it was in Rec Room.
This movie though, I love this movie. I watched it like 2-3 times coming. I watched it like Friday. I watched it some of it yesterday, and I was watching it before the show.
Yeah, but 2
Watch
hour
it
plus
right
movie goes
now.
by quick.
Right here on the side. I mean, I love this movie, man. The whole cinematography, the whole setup of this, and them going to the planet at the end. Well, not at the end, but you getting to kind of see more of it at the end. I think their outfits too, who are they, Marines or something? They're definitely, I feel like, reminiscent of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, it's got the same similar vibe.
I could see them definitely. I mean, I would want to. If I made Starship Troopers, I'd have been like, let's go with some fucking alien-esque type suits.
The only thing at the end of the movie, did they nuke the planet like they said they were going to? I don't think they ever did that, right?
I don't.
They killed the queen
got a chance to.
because the queen snuck on, but they never nuked it.
Yeah, nobody survived enough to do that. They were just trying to get out of there.
I love too when Ripley tapes her two guns together. Man, she was one of the first like real badass chicks.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, like not just like a final girl, but like a fucking badass chick. Like, cause she beat.
She under stripes.
She was before Sarah O'Connor, correct? And T2.
Yeah.
Sarah O'Connor's badass at the end of T1, but she doesn't become what she is until T2.
Yeah, I think Sarah Connor in T2 has a lot of Ripley in her. I think she's. I don't think maybe if Ripley
spiritual successor.
Yeah, you may have not seen as much, but yeah, definitely a spiritual.
Shout out to James Cameron for making a freaking high octane action movie with a woman at the lead, like you would think, but Schwarzenegger
in the 80s, bro.
Yeah, he's like, nah, Ripley, man.
Yeah, she definitely grows into a badass. She's not a badass the whole first Alien movie, but I'd say like 3/4 in towards the end.
It's cool to see that progression, not just like she just woke up and fucking is amazing. Like no, we got to see that growth.
Once she defeats the alien in the first one, that's when she becomes her badass self. But yeah, Stan Winston did. He's the one who directed Pumpkinhead, and his team created the practical effects for it. But yeah, dude, I think this is one of the best double features of all time. Even though Alien is a different type of movie, like we said, where it's like a haunted house-esque.
They definitely put
it's put on a ship. It's like they're stuck on one ship, and all this shit's going on. But they both coincide with each other. They might be two different types of films, but they're both fucking incredible. And the story continues with the second one. And like I said, it's 80s, man. So it goes bigger, better, harder. Maybe not better to some people, but I love that type. I love sequels. Fable knows I got a soft spot for my sequels, man.
I agree with you, man. I think they're both different movies that do badass stuff in their own right. Like,
this one just tries to take it up a couple notches, obviously. So they got a way bigger cast. Ripley is a full-on badass at this point. You know what I mean? So it's not you get the progression still, but she's already a fucking monster. She just keeps progressing to being even more badass, But yeah, I love this movie.
Well, for tonight's pick on your favorite character, we're gonna put Ripley aside.
First let me say what I want to speak on the movie, since you glossed over me.
No,
I know you're excited right now.
You didn't skip over you. No, but I'm gonna skip Link right now, but.
We're just making you feel uncomfortable.
When we do the favorite picks, we're gonna take Ripley out of the mix. Go ahead, Link.
Well, for me, I was introduced to this movie through the action figures personally. That made me see this movie, and then I saw the first one after that. But yeah, this is one of my favorite earlier like action sci-fi films that I can think of as a kid. Like, it wasn't too scary, because I didn't fuck with horror films like that as a kid. So this had just enough like tension where I knew that, if shit gets too heavy, they can possibly blast their way out. And I always dug that. The aesthetics, I like that it kept the atmosphere from Ridley's. Like, even though it's an action movie, it still feels like you guys said it's connected. It takes place in the same world. And I think there's something to be said about that for James Cameron. It's like the only I didn't even know he did Piranhas 2, but I was gonna say it's like this is the only sequel he's done or franchise he's done that's not his own original thing, and did a really good job. You know, and especially establishing the lore, like it was said earlier, of the Alien universe. So yeah, I love this film.
Oh yeah.
And they probably wish they gave the next one to him, but they didn't do that. We'll talk about the next one in a minute. Well, let's talk about the next one. Then David Fincher took over. A lot of people didn't like Aliens 3. I didn't dislike it, and I think the extended version of that movie definitely makes it a lot better than what the original, because they cut a lot out. But I have to say, I still thought when I first went in the movie, and I don't know, I saw this one in the theater too, but sitting at home and you're watching it, didn't you in the back of your head go, you felt a little cheated because they fucking killed everybody? After everything Ripley went through to save everybody in that fucking previous movie, at the beginning of the next one, Newt's dead.
I know.
Hicks is dead.
Yeah.
Everybody's dead. And to me, they're not even given a death on screen. I think Newt was in the original cut of that a little bit, but they cut her out. I don't know. But I think she would. I don't know if she was. I think she had a little bit more involvement. But for the most part, they instantly killed them and then went on to the next one. I felt a little cheated by that. So it put me in a bad spot. And then you got in with all the monks and the shaved heads and shit like that. Like, what the flying fuck is going on here?
It was bizarre.
But I have learned to like it more.
What was the fourth one?
Later on.
Resurrection?
Resurrection, which I actually thought, I didn't think was a horror.
Is that the one with the clone?
That's
where they cloned Ripley?
Was it a clone?
That's
Yeah.
what
Oh, she was.
Weird
Yeah.
movie.
That was a
Fuck
weird movie.
She's playing basketball.
She was all badass and shit. Yeah.
And stuff. Aliens.
Like she was super badass in that one. Like
Yeah, she was more unbelievable badass in that one.
Yeah,
She was in
yeah.
Well, she had alien powers. Like she
Yeah.
had
But what did you
alien
guys think?
DNA,
Were you disappointed in the third one after seeing the second one because of that?
Yes.
Because the character.
David Lynch did the third one, didn't he? Or is it, was he?
David
Did he
Fincher.
do the
David
fourth
Fincher.
one?
David Fincher did it.
Is Fincher? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was disappointed because I mean, shit, aliens, right? Super crazy, awesome action movie, turned up to 10. Then we get to Alien 3, and it's like, way down. Like
it tried to go back to like the
It was
original,
more- it was
the first
more like
one.
the original.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But
again,
no, I get
not
what
as
you're
good
saying.
as the
You
original.
appreciate it a little
yeah.
later in life when you're
Right.
watching it because you
Right.
like the whole universe. I like all of it. You know, I watch it some more than others. But
But
as
I mean,
far
they
as like
slammed her into
pace
a planet
goes,
and killed everybody.
you know, like it's like, yeah, you know, and then but yeah, later on you watch it a few times, it's like, okay, I see what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it was such a jarring change of pace from the Aliens to 3.
Yeah, and then
Like a bummer. It was the
And then the robot in the fourth one was Winona Ryder, and that just did not fit.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I
She was-
remember
Forgot
that.
about that.
She was grossly miscast in that movie.
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman was
He
good.
was
in it.
badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was good. It's good parts in it, but overall, not as good as the first two. So yeah, so let's set aside Ripley, and besides her, Fable, who's your favorite character and favorite sequence in the movies?
Did Perry talk about his experience with the movie? Or
Did I skip you too? No,
Maybe.
Yeah, you did. No, you did.
I watched Aliens. I watched the first one and second one. I think I said that right. I gotta say,
Go ahead.
what I really enjoy about it is the same thing I enjoy about any other type of media, is when something starts and then there's another one, like a sequel, that it just continuously flows from one to the other. Like that is like the biggest reward of sitting there watching something, because it's like, oh, we're put right in that
It's
same
right back up.
right there. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think that's just the coolest thing ever. But yeah, no, Aliens 2 was awesome.
I forgot that your favorite character and sequence. What do you think?
favorite character in sequence?
Yeah. So besides Ripley, your favorite character. We're setting
favorite
aside Ripley.
character?
Everybody loves Ripley.
I would say Bill Paxton. I think that's just like too on the nose, right? Like he's a scene chewer, or his lines are more iconic than everybody's. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with the guy that played Riser, the guy,
Oh, yeah.
Paul Reiser. Yeah, Mad About You. Yeah, that guy.
Ooh,
What a
good choice.
swarmy, what a swarmy, snake in the grass, preserving little bastard, man. I
Yeah.
loved it. Did a great job playing that, man. He lulls you in with his sweet tone, but he's all about the money.
He's really
He's all
trying to
about
say,
himself.
yeah.
Yeah, he
And then
got
he
Paul
earned a
Reiser did a
good death,
great
and then he
job,
gets a good
man.
death.
Yeah.
Too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's cool about that is when that movie first came out, he went to go see it with his sister, and as his sister was watching with him, she hit him because she hated his character so much. And then at the end of the movie, his mom was there, and she like was so happy when he died. Yeah, I read that somewhere. I thought that was funny.
That's hilarious.
You said sequence?
Yeah.
Sequence. Oh, there's so many good ones. So hard to choose. But you know what? I'm gonna go with when they first arrive at Hadley's Hope, and they got the scopes on for the first time, and you hear that sound effect like,
Yeah.
and they're just going through the place and sweeping the place. I mean, the tension is, it's tight, especially if you didn't see that extended cut where it shows you it. This is the first time you were going in this place,
Right.
and you're like, whoa! It's like, and everything's dark. I love that. I love the tension in that scene. So I'm gonna go with that.
Cool. Steph, Link.
Favorite character. Damn, that Paul Reiser was a good choice. But I'll go with Lance Henriksen. Just the,
right back
that's
at
a. But yeah, like Dylan was saying earlier, like they kind of do try to put Lance Henriksen in like he's the model for like a standard android, I'd say, in like science fiction. I'm trying to think of any games that might have had him. I want to, not Mass Effect, but yeah, I'll go with him. Favorite scene. I do always love a good oh shit moment, but so I love when Ripley got in the exoskeleton, the mech shit at the end, and she's about to square up with the alien queen. That shit used to always get me hype as a kid, but it still holds up because it's like you're like, oh shit, dog, she can stand her ground, like she's not just gonna get taken out. So.
Plus, you always watch the scene at the very end when she has sucked the alien out of the thing, and she's closing the door, and just at the very last minute, she lifts her leg up as the door shuts.
Yeah.
I think they definitely did that on purpose. What do you think? Perry's up next. Your favorite character and
I'm gonna go with my favorite character other than Ripley is probably the aliens. Like the fucking cool shit, dude. The queen, like how cool is that? But besides the aliens, I would say the little girl, she went through a lot, dude. That was some crazy things, man. Like imagine just losing everybody you've ever known. Like that. It's gone. And then you're just living in terror. Yeah. But
bro. Sorry. You have me thinking of the scene where the alien queen's trying to get her at the end. That shit had me tense as shit like that's very claustrophobic.
I would say at night mostly.
Favorite sequence was in the beginning when she was dreaming and she was giving birth, and then the thing popped out of her chest, and then she wakes up. And I was like, holy shit, like that scared the shit out of me, dude. Like I thought that was legit happening. Like I was in her body, like freaking out at the same time.
In normal, if you kind of go the regular route of people thinking that the first one's kind of like a slasher, that's how normal slashers sequel slashers would start.
Yeah, with the old one.
Well, it's also true. I remember.
I kind of like that little.
Like a homage.
She's dead, and then it's a dream.
And then she wakes up. Yeah, you freak out completely.
Well, back then, since there was a huge amount of time between the movies, and there was very little out there for people to do, for 6 years they theorized, they thought that she had an alien in her all the way back, frozen in her, because you don't either that or the cat, because you don't know. So when they did that at the beginning of the movie, you're thinking that could have been in her all the time. I think that was the whole point of that.
I wonder if there was an alien in her and she was asleep for 57 years, at some time, like, would the alien be asleep too? Or would he just be eating at her while she's sleeping?
It would probably would be asleep.
You think it would be asleep?
The cat
like you
was
could
asleep.
subdue it? Oh, I guess. Yeah.
So why not?
That's true.
I don't know. But I think that's where that came from. So anything else, Perry?
No. I mean, if there's like a liquid that puts you to sleep, then they should be able to like put that liquid into like a gun and like shoot it at them like a tranquilizer.
Right. And this movie actually still has the same problem that we discussed a few weeks ago when we looked at Outland, which I thought was similar, had a lot of similarities as this movie. They're still shooting bullets in outer space. Not a good idea, man.
Yeah. Easy way to die.
Well,
easy way to die.
Talk about the guns. That's another cool part, because in the first Alien, there was one alien terrorizing them, and they, nobody survived, and she's trying to survive or whatever. And this one, they had like super guns, and you were seeing some aliens getting tore up, shot up. Like that was pretty cool to see.
One alien got shot and burnt the shit out of a dude standing near it. The acid just
the radar gun. That shit was so cool. I love that radar gun.
She ran over one of the aliens and squashed it in the tank. Yeah. So aliens took down the chin. There's just a shitload of them. So Dylan, your favorite character besides Ripley and favorite scene? Have you got one?
Man, the Queen Bill fucking Paxton. Bill fucking Paxton.
There we go. Somebody had to grab
fucking crazy as fuck. Literally ridiculous, man. But I fucking love every minute of it, man. He can be a little annoying, I know, to a lot of people, but I fucking love him, bro. I think he's hilarious, and it sucks that he goes so quick in a way, But he lasts good in my movies just once the fighting starts. I hate that he dies pretty quick, but that is one of his most legendary roles, I feel like, just because some people either love him or hate him. And when he's just going ape shit when they're coming in and they're tracking him into the room and they're all up, he's just
from behind us, in front of us. Yeah.
No, I love when he goes, why don't you put her in charge?
Yeah.
He's hilarious, man. Yeah, Bill Paxton for sure. With an honorable mention of the Queen Alien.
Any scene that you like better than others? Any scene that you stand out that you like?
What's that?
Any scene that stands out in your mind as your favorite?
I mean, there's a shit ton. I like the ending Queen scene with Ripley, or with her facing off in the exoskeleton, or like I said, when they're coming into the room and they're all crawling through the air ducts up top. I always thought that was just creepy as fuck and super iconic. But there's just so many good ones.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to say somebody that's been kind of over.
Dugan Hudson. Hey, Vasquez, have you ever been mistaken for a man? Nope. Have you? Yeah, she's great, too.
I'm going to give it to a guy that no one's mentioned, but once again, I think he grounds this movie a lot like he did in Terminator. That's Michael Biehn, who once again I think is a great actor in the 80s, and everything he's in is believable. And even his kind of I guess I want to say chemistry with Sigourney Weaver is really good in this movie, like it was Sarah Connor, where he's teaching her the guns and stuff. It's just that I was glad to see he survived, actually. And I just think he was really good. I think he was a solid part of that cast that gets overlooked a lot. But Michael Biehn was good. Favorite scene? I'm going to probably say my favorite scene is probably the scene at the end with where she's battling the alien and sucking out into space. Because once again, that's like a kind of a redo of the first movie where she's fighting in the ship.
Good callback. Yeah.
I think the first movie is a little bit better because you had all those scenes with like the flashing light, where you'd get a flash and then the alien would be closer to her, a flash and it would be closer to her. And of course, in that scene, she changed into a spacesuit, and you get to see some 70 Bush, which is always good. But other than that, I would say that's the scene. But Michael Biehn for me would be one of my favorite characters in the movie. Why don't we discuss now before we wrap things up and rate this sucker? Like the influence this movie had. I mean, this movie literally, along with like Predator, spawned an industry. Link, talked about the toys, which I think was that Kenner? Kenner made those toys, I think. If I remember correctly.
Believe so.
But those alien toy commercials were all over the TV back in the day.
Yeah.
All the play sets. And then now, NECA has a ton of aliens and predators. And
was there an aliens cartoon or anything? Because they had if not, they had like toys that weren't. I mean, I know that was common, but they had Batman had a bunch of suits that weren't.
No, but also, movie, it spawned a shitload of comics. They continue to today. So I mean, it had a pretty big industry. So I guess go around the panel. Besides the movies, anything else in the Alien franchise that you partake in, like the ships or the comics or anything like that?
The comics are dope.
Anybody go? Whoever wants to talk.
Oh yeah, well I used to love the video games. I love the I know a lot of people didn't have it, but the Jaguar had an Alien versus.
Oh, the Alien versus Predator had that, was great.
Yeah, you could play the Colonial Marine, you could play as an alien or you could play as a Predator. And they were all pretty different.
360, right?
No.
That was a remake.
Man.
The
360 was a remake, yeah.
That's the one I played.
And even now they have some great games out.
Alien Isolation.
Yo, Isolation is crazy good.
Isolation
I'm like a moron though. I can't get past a certain part. This damn robot android keeps coming up to me and killing me.
It's very dark and it's very. I mean, they come out from all over the fucking place, man, in that game. Also in the arcade, I was showing on one of my machines. I have like Alien 3 and Alien 2 arcade games, so they were big in the arcade as well. The
nice
franchise. The comics, I don't think I read a few of them. I never really got into all of them. I'm starting to get into them now. The ones that the Marvel are doing are pretty good, and the old ones that Dark Horse did. Dark Horse really got into it. So I mean, there's a ton of Dark Horse, and then of course once that movie Alien versus Predator came out, and you saw that skull of the alien, well then it was all over. They were connected, whether you wanted them to connect or not. So, anybody else? Dylan or Perry? What do you got there, Perry?
You enlarge them so we can.
Oh, I can do that.
See.
Hey, get me bigger.
Make you big.
I always thought the art in this was so crazy.
Oh, nice.
Make them bigger.
Is that from like Dark Horse? Horse trade?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's Alien. That's Predator.
That's Aliens.
Oh,
Dead Orbit.
Dead Orbit.
Oh, James. Okay.
James Starko, yeah.
Stark, yeah.
There's some cool spreads in here. Let's get the black and white.
That's cool.
Nice.
The H.R. Geiger.
There was some
detail, baby.
Dark Horse.
Oh yeah.
Dark Horse Alien books though too.
Yeah, the Dark Horse stuff is good
sick.
too. Very good.
There's definitely some good, really good art ones too. Two Gun actually. Oh shit! Yeah, he just said Two Gun sent me some of the Alien and Predator comics. I know at least Alien. I'm not sure about Predator. But there's some good Alien.
It's Dylan. So anybody else have any other memories of stuff in the Aliens?
I got
just the toys. I was gonna say they had like a bunch of characters. Oh, nice.
There you go.
Colonial Marines. I forgot about that one.
Forgot I had these.
Well, they got that new one out, Aliens. It was a fire team something.
That shit was kind of trash.
That was not good though. I remember playing that. That wasn't too good, unfortunately.
Good idea. Terrible execution. they just had toys. I just remember they had like a dude. He had like orange hair, and he could put on like a xenomorph mask, and he had like xenomorph armor, and he was like some sort of xenomorph bounty hunter. But that shit was not in the movies.
Right. Yeah, they took a lot of liberties. They had a lot of different ones they made. I never went down that rabbit hole with NECA because you'll just go broke.
Oh, dude, I have about probably like 7 or 8 upstairs. I got one of Aliens as a rhino. I got like a white one. Like they have all these different. My son loves them. Every time we go to Target, we got to get a new one.
Yeah. It's like an animal, a xenomorph.
Yeah, it looks like a rhino alien. It's fucking cool. Okay. Yeah, it's like red and black.
I'd like to see something like that in a movie.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But no, I never got too deep into the comics. The probably deepest I've got like a handful of issues from Dark Horse shit that I've inadvertently picked up because it looked cool at the dollar bin or it was like some pre-comic book day stuff. Played some of the games, but the one I played the most was probably the 360 Alien vs Predator. Isolation I tried, but that shit's too gives me too much anxiety to actually enjoy it.
It's one of the best claustrophobic games around. And you can get a version that works fairly well on a VR headset, and that is unbelievable.
I would not try that shit.
Fuck that.
But
yo, my heart starts racing, my heartbeat on my watch. I'm like, yo, are you good?
Just throw this shit off.
And for some reason, I don't know. I mean, they keep on going back to the well for Predator movies, but they seem to not want to go back to the well for Aliens, which is too bad.
Well, they are doing an Alien movie, Fede Alvarez.
Well, and they're going to do that. They're going to do that 10-part animated one too.
Cool. That's Aliens versus Predators.
Okay.
What do you mean going back to the well? Like going?
Well, go back to just making a movie just with Alien. I guess that's what they are going to be doing. Yeah.
He's doing his own Alien movie.
Would it be like a reboot? Like
the guy who did who did the Evil Dead remake?
No, I think it's going to be just a continuation. It's not really going to be a reboot. And I think it's supposed to be on Hulu too, isn't it?
No, it's coming to theaters.
Prey was on Hulu, and it was fantastic.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be in the world.
Ripley's great-granddaughter.
World of Alien, but it's going to be its own thing.
Ripley's great-granddaughter played by Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, no, we don't need to see that.
I mean, I feel like Covenant had a good balance of like that sci-fi. It was like sci-fi, like Prometheus, but it had more horror aspects. Than Prometheus.
He was starting to bring back that scary element, but that's what Fede Alvarez is supposed to be going full at it to try to bring it back to that like horror.
That would be interesting.
So,
is Ridley Scott producing or anything?
Great director, so I'm excited for it. They've been coming out with a lot of good shit. I mean, Prey just won like every award that it was up for that chainsaw, for that Fangoria Chainsaw Award. Everything that it went up for, Prey won.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's what's up.
Prey. Everybody who probably was a little shook on Prey, but that motherfucker came out smacking. So, gotta give Alien its same due, man. It might come out, you can't say nothing until it drops. I'm excited. I know Steph's a big Fede Alvarez fan, so I'm excited to see what they do. I always hope it's gonna be good. I don't want it to be garbage. We all love Alien, the franchise up in here. Even if we don't like them all, there's still a couple that are very near and dear to us.
And I think because I know some people are kind of trying to clown on the premise of it, like because it's supposed to be like involve like a younger cast or some shit, like it specifically mentions that. But man, did a fine job on Evil Dead. There as a reimagining with younger kids, so exactly. I don't think it'll be an issue.
And we see here young kids, they could still be like, what I'm saying, like 30 years old. Who fucking knows, man?
Right.
They said that fucking.
I'm young.
They said that.
Yeah, I was just thinking like.
They said that Dick Grayson and the Joel Schumacher guy that Robin was supposed to be young.
Oh.
That motherfucker was like 40.
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell was hitting like 40 in that movie. He was hitting like 40.
And he was Val
Kilmer's Boy Wonder. Hit puberty like 25 years ago. Man. Boy Wonder.
Holy dropping balls, Batman. I mean, young kids can get killed by aliens just as much as old people too. So bring it up.
Yeah, it's a horror trope.
All right, so let's rate this sucker here. Right, you go ahead first, Fable. Give me your rating. How many? Now you haven't been on. Hold on. Fable has been on this show. I don't think before.
Yes,
Yeah, I've been
you
on
know,
the show, man.
he
How
did
do-
Schwarzenegger.
okay. Well, this is the time we start pulling out our phasers.
Oh, I forgot where I put mine.
So yank out
Oh,
whatever you
man.
got. You got something you pull out there, Fable?
No, man, I don't have phasers.
You
You got a
it doesn't have to be
phaser link?
It
Oh,
doesn't have to be a
shit.
phaser.
I gotta buy a phaser now. Oh, no.
I sent him the phaser. He has to have.
Yeah,
okay.
he just sends.
That's dope.
All right. Well. Perry's looking for his phaser.
A lighter.
There you go. Lighter work. What do you rate Aliens?
Oh, this movie's so tough to rate for me, man, because it's not perfect. It's also, in my mind, not a better film than the original Alien. So, but my heart is a 5. Like, in my heart, right? Because I love it so much. It put me on to James Cameron, badass sci-fi, action movie. Like, it's a kid thing. You know what I mean? It was great for a movie as a child. So, a lot of nostalgia for it. I love the high octane action of it. I love the James Horner score. It might be a reiteration of what Star Trek 2, but
but it fits for this.
It's a good score.
Thing,
yeah.
Bam, 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 bam. Like they use
like
that
every movie
in
he
so
ever
much
makes.
stuff.
They all sound like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But shit, I'm gonna give it 4.69, man.
Solid.
4.69. Fuck phasers.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Link.
Go ahead, Link. Pull out your phaser and tell me what you think.
He just said I will give it a 4.50, a 4.5, not to jack too closely, but that I feel Fable. Like it's I know this movie has its problems. Like it's the pacing's not bad, but there was a few things I would alter. There was a lot of momentum back and not a lot, but some momentum back and forth that was kind of off-putting. But it's a classic. Because Cameron wouldn't have gotten something following up Ridley Scott had he not done Terminator. So this kind of.
And then he went out from this right to do Terminator 2. So.
Exactly. This is kind of like the catalyst for the Cameron that we know. His kind of signature. Because this story, this movie, I'm surprised it was only $18 million because it's not as epic in scope as I remember as a kid, but you see the DNA there for what Cameron does later on. So it's a lot of nostalgia.
Remember, Cameron's a disciple of what's his face there, and
was it Roger
Corman coming in cheap, making great looking movies. Right. So he does
the opposite nowadays. Some of the most expensive movies, but he gets his money back always.
Well, yeah, so. he's usually bankrolling a lot of it too, so he wants to make sure he gets his money back.
He's a master of the craft, but this is a solid 4.5. It's got its problems, but there's so much to love. This established the world, the comics, the games that are being made. Like this was, of course, Ridley Scott did it first, but this gave the lore. It needed to expand into different multimedia projects or whatever you want to call it. So 4.5.
Cool. Now, Perry, did you come up with your phaser there, or what's happening? Oh, what the fuck is that? Is that a credit card machine? What is that? That's not a phaser.
It's a controller.
Oh my God.
I can't find my phaser. I don't know where it went.
You probably sold it for drugs.
No.
What?
Say what?
Other things he could sell for drugs.
Right.
Right.
To buy my phaser.
Yeah.
I need $20. 2 for $5, man. Come on. 5 phasers out of 5 phasers.
Oh yeah.
There's something I didn't like about this movie. It was awesome. It's a repeat watch. I kind of want to watch it again. All around great movie, man. I love Aliens. Aliens are dope,
Hell yeah.
The titling used to confuse me as a kid though, because they were like, well, what's the as a kid, the plural does not mean shit to me. So when they're like, what's the first one called? Alien, but this one's called Aliens. No, Alien.
Left in number 4, they did swim underwater. Aliens were underwater.
Yeah, they swam and they chased after
I guess when he put the S on it, he was like,
Maybe.
"Get ready, there's more than one."
More than one. Yeah.
There's more than one.
That's clever. As you get older, you get it. But as a kid, I was like, why isn't that called Alien 2?
2.
Yeah. Distinguish.
Right, well, Paul should be back in a second. I'll give it, since I'm going to go next, I'm going to give it 4.75 phasers. I think it's a great movie. I don't know how it could really be much better. It really deserves a 5, but I'm going to go 4.75. A little bit of wonky effects here and there, but it was great for the day. The cast is great. The music's great. It's iconic. And I think it really did bring about, it helped to keep on launching that blockbuster sci-fi film. The next one will be Terminator, and then after that would be Avatar and stuff like that. But he's still producing them, and for 4.75 for me, I think it's a great flick. And really, I don't think after this, it's about as good as the Aliens. The other movies are good, but they didn't reach the height of the first two. After this is definitely the peak.
I'd agree with that.
Of the
because you see how divisive Prometheus and Covenant are. They're real divisive. So I would agree with that.
After this one, the universal acclaim is it's more divergent.
Right. Well, plus something as you said,
right? Because three is like that, right? Some people freaking love 3. Some people are like, and 4 even Resurrection.
Yeah,
say that movie sucks, and I liked it.
I didn't mind it. Yeah,
well, it wasn't horrible. It was all right.
It was all right. Exactly, it was all right.
Right.
And even to a certain degree, the Aliens versus Predator movies were watchable, but they were.
Requiem was ass, but the first one was solid.
Right. So
I'm sorry.
But they never equaled the first 3. So Dylan, you're the last one to rate. Go ahead. What do you think? What does this rate in your book?
It's a 5, bruh. It's a 5.
Bruh.
It's a masterpiece.
It's the second 5 we got. Did we get 5? No. No,
yeah,
we get 5.
Perry. You were all over this place for today.
That's right. You and Perry both gave it 5s, man. Yeah.
It's a 5.
Yeah.
And both born after the 90s too.
I'm tempted.
93.
I'm tempted to boost it to a 5, but I'll stick with 4.75.
Yeah, I am tempted too, but I know that I like Alien 1 just a little more as a film, and like just my film critic
like
shit,
even
like,
for
you know
me.
what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm both be 5.
Yeah, that's true. But I get.
It might be 5s in their own way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, it might be. You know what?
That's
Wait, but now you're using my burial ground defense.
No,
but
what?
No, but okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's so hard. Listen, man. Any day of the week it could be a 5. Yeah.
This is a 5. This is let's all agree it's a 5. Let's stop being critics.
Well, I'm gonna give the first one a 5 too. I think the first one is worthy.
No, that's what Perry said. Both things can be a 5. But I get what Fable's meaning when it's like, well, if I enjoyed this one better, can this one be on the same length? But they can both be 5s for different reasons.
I agree. They're 5s. Let's say 5.
It's because they're different.
Right.
You can do that because they're not doing the same things. They're doing 2 different things using the same universe.
They're both
world,
and they both
together.
do it dope.
Right, which is good because back in the day, that was a big knock against a lot of sequels where they were the same movie.
Yeah.
Halloween 2. Halloween 2 was the same movie. Halloween 1, basically. With very few differences. So when a sequel does go a different
switches up gears.
It's to be respected because not a lot of them did back then at all.
Right.
Right.
It switched up gears and was still successful.
That's
very successful. So hell yeah.
Absolutely. So 5s all around from this crew. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it's
let's see. I think
pivotal sci-fi, modern sci-fi flick almost.
It's also a 5.
Oh, 5. So. Yeah. You guys.
Yeah, They can both be 5s for they're different things.
Totally
I
different
agree.
reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thank you, Pedro, because Requiem was ass. It almost seemed like a straight to Sci-Fi Channel movie.
Requiem was almost as bad as
man.
that. Requiem was almost as bad as that Predator sequel there, where they had the kid bringing the Predator down because he's putting together the suit. That bad
The Shane
movie.
Black, the 2000, the Predator. That I was so mad at that movie because I was like, Shane Black, come on, bro. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
no, he should be able to do something that's better than the one with Predators on the planet.
No, Requiem was complete ass. That movie was just not good. It had potential, but Requiem was terrible. Like, I would tell people almost not to. It's not even worth checking out.
It's worth checking out, I think, but don't expect it to be any good.
This is coming from a 5 Burial Ground, though, so
Right.
I expect
Burial Ground is still a 5. It's on that level of different types of 5s. It's a 5.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck.
But soon, though, it might have a contender in Street Trash. So stay tuned. Because Street Trash is bucking up.
Get ready, Fable.
That contender.
Get ready.
Fable's got lost in the mail there.
He kind of softened the blow when he said it was a horror comedy. So now I don't really got to put that mind on too much. Like, you know what I mean? I could just be like, okay, let's see how funny it is.
Fable's gonna be watching the movie and spend all his time going, I've been there. I know what that is. That's right down the street. I've been here.
In the 70s?
I'm telling you.
When was that made, Street Trash?
1980. New York hasn't changed that much.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
It's like you do get to a certain point where it's like time just doesn't seem that long ago. I feel you, Scarpad. Like when people say like 2005, it doesn't feel like it was like almost 20 years ago, or 2000 was 20.
Right? Like, that's crazy.
That is insane.
It's like what you call it? 50 Cent is going on a like final lap tour.
Yo, the final tour,
bro.
I'm trying to get
and I'm like, final lap? What? That album came out 5-10 years ago.
You're right.
It came out 20 years ago.
Yes.
It's his final lap.
That's why early 1980s, late 79 New York is no different than New York today to Scarpad.
That's right.
Because you get to a certain point.
In the world of Street Trash, it's all the same. So. All right, well, thank you everybody for coming in today. I'll be in the chat. This ends up the month of May, right? Next week, no shows. Sunday, Monday, on vacation.
Oh, Memorial Day, yeah.
Memorial Day. Hope you guys all have a good picnic. Get the fuck outside. Stop watching.
I'm going to watch X-Men The Last Stand. Because that's when it came out.
It came out Memorial Day?
Yeah, 2006, baby. Yeah.
Okay, I think it gets other things.
I lost my virginity on Memorial Day.
Oh my god.
Well, I'll never think of hamburgers the same way twice again.
It was great.
Hamburgers and hot dogs.
It's a good way to celebrate.
I always remember. It's a memorial.
Yeah, but then you got bailed out.
Good.
They say he lost his virginity, but then he got bailed out.
That's a twist, yo.
That's why you know why he gave Burial Ground a 5. Right?
Yes.
Like that.
It is making so much sense up here.
That's right. So when we come back on Sunday, we will be doing Wes Anderson's Isle of Dogs, the animated movie. And then on Monday, we'll be doing Annihilation on the Sci-Fi show.
Mortal Kombat?
In June. No,
Alex Garland.
Alex Garland's Annihilation with
Natalie Portman.
Padme.
Oscar Isaac.
That's right. They were
you got Tessa, fucking Creed's wife, is in it. Tessa Thompson, I think her name is.
Yeah. So, what year did that come out? Like 2017?
That was like, I want to say 18, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, thank you guys for all coming. And June, in a couple of weeks, we'll be back. Make sure you come back and see us then. Dylan, I think the desk fell on Dylan, and he's trapped under it. Yep. And he's not coming back. So I'd wait here for him, but he could be writhing in pain on the floor. So I don't know. Any of you guys got anything else going on? No, I said to Perry's gonna be you're gonna be doing that Star Trek game because I'm gonna do a reaction to your reaction.
Oh yeah. That's
Sure.
right. When it comes out, I'm gonna live stream
when it
it.
comes out.
What Star Trek game is this? What are we talking about?
Star Trek Resurgence. So
Hey, the
Oh,
comments,
yeah.
everyone's like, the game looks promising.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess I don't know.
Was it like
I
an
got the
MMO or
little
some shit?
miniseries
I think
Yeah,
so.
Bobby. They haven't done. Yeah, they have a comic out based on it.
Yeah, I picked up a few issues there.
Good Star Trek games have been few and far between. Not like Star Wars games. They have a ton of those, but
yeah.
it's the way it is. Fable, what do you got coming up? Are you coming back in June, I think, too?
Coming back Saturday, June 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern for Blame Fable and his amazing friends with Nick Comic Culture. Our guest that day will be Comic Tom and Fire Guy Ryan. So if you guys are around, just come hang out, man. They're going to be talking about their new comic Crashdown, which hits FOC that weekend. So that's going to be dope. And whatever news we're going to cover, I'm definitely want to talk about this Kamala Khan dying stuff and a few things with Comic Time and see what he thinks about all that stuff. So yeah, come hang out,
Marvel. Hell yeah.
Cool. Steph, you got anything going on?
Thursday, I believe Verno's with Fable and Verno and I are doing a show on review on
thank you.
why can I not think of that fucking movie's name? Sam Raimi's name.
Drag
Me to Hell. Drag Me to Hell.
Hell.
Yes, I was thinking of From Hell for some reason.
But
yeah,
that's into hell, whatever. Yeah, I heard that's a good movie. I haven't seen that. I've seen pieces of it.
I haven't seen it in a while, man. I can't wait to watch it again.
So I might even watch it before then, so I can ridicule you guys online that night. And then sometime before that, our show that I do with Link will be dropping. I think 7:30 because I think Verno shows at 8:30, so I'll probably drop it at 7:30 before his show. And that's going to be looking at what are we doing again? Go ahead.
Rick Remender. I like saying Remender, but Rick Remender and Jerome Pena, Uncanny X-Force Volume 1, first 4 issues.
Nice.
So if you guys
and we'll have a special guest that night.
Yes. Oh yeah. Can't forget our boy Dr. Doom's fan club.
You gotta send me that link to that thing so that I can read. You know what I'm talking about. We don't promote that, but send me the link.
Oh yeah,
you have all that.
I got you covered.
Check your mail. Check Instagram. It's all in there. So just go back a ways. You'll see it. All right. Well, thank everybody for coming in. We'll see you after the holiday. Everybody have a good holiday. Enjoy your week off. Eat some burgers. Lose your virginity. Lose your virginity.
Fur burgers.
I like it raw.
My reference.
Make sure you get that, and then get bailed out, and then we will catch you guys in a couple of weeks. Later, everybody. Nation.